Chapter 1, The Silent Invitation. It was one of those autumn nights when the air felt alive, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. The wind sighed through the trees, and in the distance, the eerie melody of carnival music floated on the breeze. The small town of Hollow's End had never seen anything like it. The Dark Carnival had arrived. No one knew when it had set up or how it had appeared overnight. The old fairground, once abandoned and rusting, had come to life with color and light. Rumors spread quickly. Some said it was cursed, others whispered about strange disappearances, but everyone agreed that something wasn't right. Rachel didn't care. She was tired of her monotonous life and longed for something different. The rumors of ghostly figures and lost souls didn't faze her. It was just a carnival, after all. When midnight struck, she found herself drawn to the fairgrounds, the haunting music pulling her like a siren's song. The entrance was a towering archway adorned with flickering lights. Above it hung a banner that read "Welcome to the Dark Carnival, where dreams and nightmares collide." Rachel hesitated for a moment, but the strange energy in the air seemed to push her forward. She stepped inside. The fairgrounds were empty. No laughing children, no bustling families, only eerie silence. The rides were old and dilapidated, their colors faded and rusted. A massive Ferris wheel loomed over the park, motionless against the night sky. Something felt off, but she was too captivated by the mystery to turn back. As she wandered deeper into the carnival, she felt unseen eyes watching her, an oppressive presence that lurked just beyond the shadows. It led her to the center of the fairgrounds, where a massive striped tent stood tall. Above its dark entrance, a sign read "The Hall of Mirrors." With her heart pounding, Rachel entered. Chapter 2, Reflections of Fear. The moment Rachel stepped into the Hall of Mirrors, the air grew thick and suffocating. Her breath came in shallow gasps as she navigated through the darkness. The walls were lined with mirrors, yet they reflected only emptiness, not even her own shadow. Panic bubbled up inside her. The path through the mirrors twisted and shifted, confusing her with every step. She tried to turn back, but each corner she turned led her deeper into the maze. Then, in the distance, a faint glow appeared. Drawn by the light, Rachel hurried toward it. What she found chilled her to the core: a large mirror, its surface shimmering like water. But the reflection staring back at her wasn't her own. The figure was twisted, its face distorted with hollow, black eyes and a grotesque grin. It moved independently of her, raising a skeletal hand toward the mirror. The glass rippled under its touch, as though the figure was pushing through. Rachel recoiled in terror, but the figure kept emerging, its body contorting unnaturally as it stepped out of the mirror. Rachel ran, her heart racing, but the distorted figure pursued her. Its laughter echoed through the maze, a sound that reverberated off every mirror, distorting reality. No matter how fast she ran, the figure remained close behind. She stumbled into a small clearing surrounded by mirrors, and in the center stood a figure with its back to her. Slowly, it turned, revealing the same twisted grin as the reflection from before. Dozens of identical figures appeared in the mirrors around her, their hollow eyes fixed on her, closing in with outstretched hands. Rachel screamed as the darkness swallowed her whole. Chapter 3, The Carnival of Lost Souls. Rachel woke to find herself in the middle of the carnival again, but something had changed. The rides were running, the games operating, but there were no people, only shadows, faceless figures moving aimlessly through the foggy fairgrounds. She felt a chill run down her spine as she realized who they were. The lost souls of Hollow's End, the ones who had vanished without a trace over the years, were trapped here, their forms flickering like dying flames. Their empty eyes watched her, as though inviting her to join them. Fear surged through her, but before the shadows could overwhelm her, a voice boomed through the air, freezing them in place. Enough! The shadows retreated, and a tall figure in a black suit stepped into view. His face was hidden in shadow, but his presence was unmistakable. He was the ringmaster, the master of the Dark Carnival. "Welcome to my carnival," he said, his voice smooth and sinister. "You've been chosen to join us. Your fear sustains us." Rachel shook her head, backing away. "No, I didn't ask for this." I don't want to be here. The ringmaster's grin widened, revealing sharp teeth. There is no escape. Once you enter the Dark Carnival, you belong to it. The shadows closed in again, but Rachel fought back, her mind snapping with defiance. No! I won't let you take me. For a brief moment, the carnival paused, as if reality itself was unsure how to respond. Then the world around her began to unravel, the ground trembled, the lights flickered, and the very fabric of the carnival began to collapse. The shadows screamed in agony, and the ringmaster's grin faltered as everything around them crumbled into darkness. Rachel felt herself falling, tumbling into an endless void. Chapter 4: The Abyss. Rachel fell through the abyss for what felt like hours, her body weightless in the suffocating darkness. When she finally hit the ground, the impact knocked the air from her lungs. She lay still, disoriented, her surroundings a bleak, featureless void. But she wasn't alone. A low, wet scraping noise echoed in the distance. Rachel's heart raced as she turned to see a creature emerging from the shadows. It was twisted and grotesque, its limbs too long, its mouth a gaping hole oozing a thick black liquid. Its black, empty eyes were locked on her as it shuffled closer. Paralyzed with fear, Rachel stood frozen until the creature's cold breath brushed her skin. Her survival instincts kicked in, and she ran, her legs burning as she sprinted through the endless darkness. The creature followed, its movements jerky but unervingly fast. Just when she thought she couldn't run any further, a faint light appeared ahead. She pushed herself toward it with every ounce of strength she had left, diving into the light as the creature's fingers grazed her back. Warmth enveloped her, and the darkness faded. She was safe, for now. Chapter 5: The Return. Rachel awoke on the outskirts of Hollow's End, the sun shining above and birds chirping in the distance. The nightmare was over, or so she thought. As she walked back into town, people stared at her, whispering in hushed tones. Their faces were pale with disbelief. An elderly woman approached her, voice trembling. "You were gone, for months. We thought you were dead." Rachel's heart sank. What had felt like a few days in the Dark Carnival had been months in the real world. The carnival had stolen time from her, trapping her in its twisted reality. Shaken, she packed her belongings and left Hollow's End. She couldn't stay, not when she could feel the darkness still lurking in the shadows, waiting for its chance to reclaim her. But as she drove away, Rachel knew one thing for certain: the Dark Carnival wasn't done with her yet. It would return. And next time, she might not escape.